Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/Tales from Retail. And thank you so much to everyone who subscribed to the channel and put in a notation so you don't miss new videos every day. Our first story for today is about a customer who went a little overboard and ended up not getting his stuff. Don't you F with me, boy, or we'll both have a really bad day. I work in a small hardware store. It's just me and the owner. A gentleman came in yesterday and bought a couple pieces of stovepipe, but one of them had some light scratches on the outside. He knew about them. He made a big deal about it when he bought it. He comes in immediately hostile. Me is me, D is dude. M, remembering him from yesterday. Hey, did that one not work out for you? D, it's all scratched up. This is effing ridiculous. I want a clean one. Me, I think they're all scratched, sir. We looked at a bunch yesterday, but let's go see what we can find. Well, maybe the manufacturers should get their effing crap together. We walk over to the stovepipe, and lo and behold, they all have slight scratches. They're not even that noticeable. It kind of looks like dirty rain rolled down the sides and dried. Very faint. I went through what we had out as well as another box just to make sure they were all like that. Still wasn't satisfied and began taking them all out on the floor. He was even bending them out of shape to try to get them apart without scratching them. Turns out it didn't matter. And I was already pretty annoyed at this point, so I snapped at him a little. Me, sir, stop. You're bending them out of shape. D, I'm looking for one that's not scratched, damn it. Me, just take one and go or get a refund. They're all the same. So at this point, he stood up and kind of bowed up to me. D, don't F with me, boy, or we're both going to have a really bad day. I grabbed his original piece and pushed it into his hands, not forcefully. M, don't you threaten me, old man, or I'll make sure you have a really bad day with the police. Get out of my store. You're now trespassing. D was angry now. F you, you little effing bleep. Me, get out and don't come back, or I'm calling the police. Well, he slammed the door on his way out, and I had to put away like 20 pieces of stovepipe he'd littered around the floor. I told the owner about it and what the guy looked like, and he approved of my actions. I've never been threatened at work before, and it's happened twice now this week. Is it a full moon or something? And our second story. You won't give me the price I want? I want you to delete all my receipts, except for when I need them. Background. I used to work for a large national chain that was in the power sports industry. We sold mostly motorcycle apparel and accessories, no servicing of vehicles, but if a customer brought in a wheel, we'd replace the tire or tube on it. Our return policy was pretty open-ended, so receipts were saved for a rather long time and usually searchable by customer name. I've since moved on to other things, so this story takes place a few years ago. Repeat problem customer came in one day with her husband. At this point, everybody knew to avoid her because no one likes being yelled at or feeling like they're wasting their time. Unfortunately, that meant that it fell to me to help her out, as I was the MOD at the time. Can't just not help a customer. She was looking for a new riding jacket, so off we go to see what we can find for her. After over an hour of helping her try on all sorts of different riding gear, during which she didn't like anything because of a variety of reasons, was extremely rude to me and her husband, and basically implied that it was a corporate conspiracy, that nothing was good enough for her. She finally decides she wants to buy a particular set of riding gloves instead. We have them in stock. They fit her. She wants them. She heads towards the registers. Success. The nightmare is over. Yeah, no. Not even 2 minutes later, I'm getting called to come up to the registers. I get there to have my customer yell at me that the cashier ringing her out is ruining her life. Not those exact words, but phrases I still recall include, "She's an idiot. She thinks she's better than me. And I won't stand for being discriminated against like this." Honestly, no idea where that last one came from. She's yelling all this at me, and she's being really loud about it, so the entire store can hear her ranting. I get to work trying to figure out what is going on and how I can fix it. Turns out she's flipping out about the price of the gloves. Now, they aren't cheap gloves, but the price is very prominently displayed on the packaging, so no bait and switch going on here. But she's found someone on Craigslist selling a used, older version of the same gloves for less than half of what we're charging for a new set. My cashier told her we don't price match Craigslist, which is what caused the blow-up. I tried to explain to her, I really tried. New versus used, older model, don't even look the same. Just the same name. Analogies? Nope, she's not having it. She wants a brand new Toyota Camry for 1990 Camry prices. We're at an impasse. At this point, she decides to announce she's never going to shop here again. She announces that she's going to return everything she's ever bought from us. She also decides that she wants us to delete her name out of the entire system right now. I explained to her that we look up customer history by name and we won't be able to look up receipts for her returns if we do that. She starts yelling, "I know my rights. I have a right to privacy. I want it done right now, right now, right now." So that's exactly what we did. I walked the cashier through opening up the customer's record and deleting all of her info, name, phone number, etc. from it. She threw the gloves on the counter and walked out. She came back in 2 days later when I was off to make a return. She was completely shot down by the manager on duty that day. No receipt, no record of the customer. The manager on duty for that day told me that when she told the customer that there was no record of her ever having shopped there because she'd asked for it to be deleted, the look on her face was priceless. And our next story. "I deleted the internet. Please help." Little old woman. So I used to work at an electronic retail store. We were one of the biggest stores in my state, and I worked in the computer department. It was early on a Sunday morning, which was typically our slowest time, so I took a little more time with customers. This particular day, a little old woman walked in, quickly came into my department looking scared with tears in her eyes. She walks up to me holding her laptop and asks me why everyone is looking so calm. I asked her, why wouldn't they be calm? She looked me in the eye, scrunches her face up, sobs, and says, "Because I deleted the internet. Please help." What I wanted to do? I asked her, "The whole internet? You deleted the internet?" I went on my walkie. "We have a code red in the computer department. We got her." What actually happened? She cries and explains to me that she was scared that the internet police were going to arrest her because she deleted the Internet Explorer icon from her desktop. She was under the impression that because she deleted her icon, she deleted all of the world's internet. OMFG. Instead of normally sending her to the tech counter like I would with other customers who come to me with tech help, I sat her down and explained that she just deleted her access to the internet and went to her recycle bin on her desktop and restored her icon. She realized how silly she was after I told her this and gave me a big hug before leaving my store. My inner demons wanted to mess with her, but I couldn't pull myself to do that. And our last story for today. You switching the label doesn't stop us from knowing the object's actual price. So this happened back when I was working part-time at a small chain party supply store. We had things from basic party supplies, themed branded supplies, cheeky age maker party supplies, baby showers, weddings, sweet 16s, costumes, all kind of balloons and seasonal stuff. I was working register with one other girl while another employee straightened things up around the store. Our manager was in the back. This woman comes up to the register with a basket. I'm finishing up with another customer, but I remember her looking a bit impatient as she walked up to my coworker's counter. My coworker was scanning things as my customer leaves, and I turn around and sort out balloon orders. We got a lot of orders for party balloons days in advance. Suddenly, I hear the customer speak in this really shrewd, pitchy voice. "That price isn't right." I turn around and my coworker has paused, looked at the medium-sized stuffed Mickey Mouse toy that's part of our Mickey Mouse-themed birthday set. Don't ask me why stuffed animals were part of the themes. I don't know. I sort of watch from behind her as she looks back and forth a few times. "The computer's telling me this is the correct price, ma'am." "Well, it's not. The price on the shelf says it was 20 cents. Now that's an immediate red flag because there's no way something as substantial as a stuffed animal in that store is that cheap. Cheap in quality, yes, but it was part of a brand set and not a plastic trinket. Me and the coworker both have no clue what she's talking about. That doesn't sound right. I'm sorry, but the actual price of this is $12.59. "Its label on the shelf says 20 cents. That's misleading and unfair to customers. Why is it so expensive anyways?" My poor coworker is a bit meeker now. "I'm so sorry for the confusion, ma'am. This is actually $12.59. Would you like me to remove it?" The woman is still very snippy and stern, like my coworker's an idiot, but a bit more aggressive now. No, I should only have to pay 20 cents because you're the ones whose machine is broken. Go look at the tag if you don't believe me and let me speak to your manager. My coworker was speechless at this point. I'm just glad that nobody else was up at the counter because I felt like I had to pay attention to back up my coworker with how much aggression this lady was giving off. Anyways, my coworker turns to me and asks me to go check the tags on the shelf while she calls up our manager, and I go to do just that. Customer was looking a bit smug now. I walk down the aisle to the Mickey Mouse area and look at the tags and, oh, guess what? The woman switched the tags. Under the area of the shelf where the stuffed Mickeys are is a crooked, partially torn, not totally sticking white label reading 20 cents. It's not for the stuffed toys. It's for the tiny plastic Frisbee trinkets that you put in a gift bag. The tag for the actual stuffed animals isn't under the Frisbees. Seems like she may have just held on to it. So I walk back up front where my manager is behind the counter with my coworker while this thief berates the store and my coworker, and my manager tries to placate her. I interrupt with a polite "excuse me" and ask my manager to come look at the display with me. When I bring him over there, he actually takes a few seconds sighing into his hands when I explain what happened. We get back up there, and bless the man, he tells the woman that the price of the item is $12.59 and that changing the label under the product won't change that. She goes so red and her face gets really stiff before she shoves the basket and things onto the counter forward and says, "Fine, if you don't want a good customer's money, I'll go." Like, yeah, we're really going to have a hard time holding on to the $12 you're trying to steal. She struts out. The audacity of some people amazes me. Honestly, to this day, I still can't believe she honestly thought that would work. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video. I'll see you in the next one.